So, after years of development, years of wishlist, and years of people saying this is gonna destroy The Sims, Paralives is finally in early access in this month, and honestly, I don't think I've seen a life simulation game build this much hype before launching. This game has been called The Sims Killer, the future of live sims, the game EA should be scared of, which is an absolute insane amount of pressure to put on an indie studio. So now that Paralives is finally coming to an early access in this month, I wanna showcase and discuss why this game should be its own and leave comparing it to the Sims series alone, because we need more life simulation games, and this project has started back in 2019, so it really needs its own time to grow, without talking about how it's gonna destroy Sims. So today we are diving into everything: the building, character creator, gameplay, AI, the customization, and the big question: does Paralives actually live up to the hype, and what we're gonna have with early access. I hope you enjoy. But before we jump into early access, we need to talk about why Paralives became such a huge deal in the first place, because this isn't just another live sim. This game has basically been the underdog story of the genre. Back in 2019, the small indie developer announced this colorful life simulation game with insanely flexible building tools, and almost instantly the people lost their minds. And why? Because for years live sim fans had been begging for innovation. People have wanted better building tools, better personalities, better AI, more freedom with these, less loading screens, and honestly, a lot of players were getting frustrated with how fragmented the genre had become. And more likely, people were tired of how EA is handling the beloved series. Then Paralives shows up saying, hey, what if you could resize furniture freely? What if windows snap anywhere? What if walls curve? What if your character actually feels alive? And suddenly everyone was watching. And now, after all those devlogs, Patreon updates, sneak peeks, and years of coming soon, we are finally here in early access, and whoa, I just can't wait to touch this game. The first thing I noticed when we saw gameplay livestream delaying the early access of Paralives is how polished the presentation feels. And I'm not saying like the polished for an indie game, like the UI is clean, the art direction is gorgeous, and I know some don't like the cartoonish art style, and that is completely fine, but for me, I just love this art style. The music immediately gives cozy, creative energy, and it feels like a game that knows exactly what vibe it wants. And as a player, we already know what it's gonna give to us because of these aspects. And the vibe is, come build your dream little life, which honestly can be a little bit dangerous, because suddenly I'm telling myself I'll just play for 30 minutes, and next thing I know it's 3 AM and I'm still choosing curtain colors for a fictional family that doesn't even exist yet. So basically classic live sim game behavior, and this is something that I really wanna experience once again. What I want is that I felt when The Sims 2 came out. I just played and get deep dive to the lore and story that I create for my virtual dolls, and I can basically do it for hours. So we need to talk about also the build mode, because this is where I think Paralives might genuinely change the genre. Well, kinda, because the Insoi have the exact same system or the customization, but the building tools are ridiculous when we are seeing this footage right now in here, and I mean in the best possible way. You can basically drag walls freely, curve walls, resize objects, stretch furniture, adjust windows, place decorations with way more freedom, and basically build homes that don't feel locked into a grid prison, if you know what I mean. And if you've spent hundreds, or let's be honest, thousands of hours building in live Sims games, this feels incredible or at least for me. And I think it's gonna be hard at first, like how to adjust everything and find different aspects of the tools and how they work, but the amount of creative freedom here is gonna be incredible. I bet that there is a learning curve and it needs a certain amount of time to click in your playstyle and how everything works, but once it clicks, it's gonna click hard. And then of course we have a character creation, or in Paralives language, the Paramaker. And this might be one of my favorite systems in the entire game right now, because the art style is gorgeous like I mentioned before. Characters feel stylish without looking cartoonish, even though they have a cartoon style here, and also I love how subtle the aging is in the game. Like basically the wrinkles and height adjustments feels really detailed, and that makes me so happy. There is personality in the animations, the proportions looks natural, and most importantly, they don't look all like clones. You can customize basically body types, facial features, hair, height, clothing, accessories, and there is a level of flexibility here that makes character feel really unique, and I love that. Because one of the biggest issues in live sims is when you create a different character and then realize they still somehow look suspiciously similar to everyone else, but not in here. And of course not with the CC and everything. And that's a huge win, and I can't wait to see other people's creations with this tool. Customization here feels expressive, and the devs have said that they are really trying to focus on giving tools to players to express themselves with both build and Paramaker tools, to make the game inclusive and let people be seen in the game. And expression is everything in live sims in my opinion, because if players can't connect to their characters, the whole fantasy starts falling apart. And I think the Paralives understands that really well. And now the big question that we all are thinking about: how the characters actually feel alive. And honestly, they're having very cool and unique system for that. They have these social cards and the odds how they are working, and like almost all the mechanics are based on these cards and odds how they can success with the interactions or not, and it gives more role-playing aspects and something to work with, and not deciding everything what's going to happen with every situation. And I think that this approach is unique way with the live sims that I have not seen before. Maybe a little bit with the Sims 3, but not like with the modern simulation games. And I hope that they will continue working with that and polish it after the feedback from the community, so that the social interactions won't feel as robotic. But basically characters move around in believable ways, their routines make sense, and I hope that these little things Paralives will do really well, like micro behaviors, little gestures, idle animations, facial reactions, tiny personality quirks, because I think those things matter more than people realizes, because live sims are built on illusion. You're not just managing stats, you're really building stories. And if the characters feels believable, your imagination does the rest. And that said, it's still early access, and with the live streams you can see it. Sometimes path findings gets a little bit weird, and sometimes characters stand in awkward places, and the social interactions feels slightly unfinished, but they have really improved those in these past 6 months, and I'm so happy about that. And now we have to talk about the big question that everyone is talking about. Is Paralives the Sims killer? And honestly, I just hate that phrase so much, because it puts unfair pressure on this game. Paralives doesn't need to kill anything, it just needs to be good on its own way. And right now, I think it is, but it's also doing something smarter. It's not trying to copy every system, and it's trying to focus on what players have been asking for: freedom, creativity, personality, immersion, and player expression. And I think that is where it shines the most. This doesn't feel like a clone, it feels like its own identity. and that's way more important, at least for me. Because genres don't grow when everyone copies that market leader. They grow when someone tries something new. And I think Paralives is really trying. So that's why I'm a little scared how people are already making lots of comments around how Paralives do this and that compared to The Sims. I wish that people would understand that this game has its own ecosystem with how the trades works, how the job paths are going, and how simulation in general is working in the game. This game has similarities because it is in the same genre as The Sims is, but still from the start it has evolved to its own game and tried to create something new at the same time while listening to what live sim community wants from the game. So if I could wish something is that please stop comparing or saying that it's gonna kill Sims. Let's see how it's gonna grow as a person or in our own game. And honestly, I don't either know do I like the game or not because I haven't played it yet. Maybe at first hours I'll be in an odd place because I've been playing The Sims like almost 20 years. So yeah, I got used to something that Paralives isn't delivering, and at the same time it is, if you know what I mean. So let's give some time for this game to see what its potential really is and what it can offer for the genre. And because I actually want this game to succeed, we also need to be honest. It's not perfect, there are bugs, some animations need polishing, some systems feel incomplete, and certain interactions still feel repetitive. And yes, there will be moments where you think, did my character just clip through a couch? They'll absolutely do. But that's early access, and honestly, I'd rather play an ambitious early access game with rough edges than a safe game with no vision. And Paralives definitely have vision, and that's the important part, but it's already doing things that could push the entire live sim genre forward, and that is exciting, because for the first time in a long time it feels like live sim players have a real competition, like real innovation and real fresh ideas. So I really think Paralives feels like a game worth watching, and maybe it can be a beginning of something really huge if we just give it the time to grow and not say that it's gonna be something that's gonna continue the legacy of the Sims series. But I wanna hear your thoughts, let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, because we are definitely going to be covering more live sim chaos with Paralives. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!